What's up, everybody? Frozen Titan here, back again playing some wild Hearthstone. Today we'll be featuring the Secret Mage in a matchup against the Demon Hunter. We're going to be kind of deep diving the deck a little bit and seeing how it works against the Demon Hunter. So we'll start out with the mulligan here. What we're really looking for most of the time, or 90% of the time, is a Cabal Lackey, a Secret, a Kirin Mage, and a Cabal Crystal Runner. We're not really seeing much of that here. We really actually need kind of a different mulligan against the Demon Hunter. We need a Flak Mage and the Cabal Lackey. So we are actually going to hard mulligan everything off here and see if we can get into a Flak Mage and the Cabal Lackey. Okay, we end up getting the Kirin Mage. Really not an ideal mulligan facing off against the Demon Hunter here. But we'll see if we can salvage it. It is the odd Demon Hunter, so he's going to be looking to push a lot of damage face. So if he has a good hand, he'll get out a 1-cost minion. Otherwise, we'll see him just hero power up and attack us face. Okay, kind of reading into the hands there. We think, maybe he doesn't have that great of a hand. We do get the Arcanologist, which kind of saves our butt. We want to take control of the tempo here, because the Demon Hunter is really going to try and out-tempo us. One of the things this deck really thrives on is its ability to either tutor or draw cards out of the deck. So we saw our first example of the tutor in Arcanologist, drawing the secret from our deck, thinning the deck out as much as possible. So the idea here is we want to use specific tutor cards to get secrets out of the deck, thereby thinning our deck and getting us closer to our draw engines with Stargazer Luna, which we just drew, ironically, and Alaneth. And we'll talk about how these cards kind of play together as we move throughout the matchup. So for right now, we're going to clear off the board and pass. Again, we're really looking for this Flak Mage here. If you're not familiar with the card, it's after playing a secret, deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. This card in particular is super pivotal to the matchup, taking out things like their Satyr and the 2/2 tokens that it summons. Taking out a lot of their early 1/2 minions or this Glacial Shard. Been actually seeing that as a tech choice in a lot of decks recently with the odd Demon Hunter. So, that card's getting a lot of popularity. Really good mid-game trick we can pull off here is the Kirin into the duplicate. So if he decides to clear off our Kirin, we get 2 of them back, and we can play 0-cost Ice Block as well as Explosive Runes. Another probably valid choice there would have been to play the Kirin into Explosive Runes, but we did want to fish out something that he just played there, his Eye Beam. So still doing pretty well. Okay, we get the Cabal Lackey as well. So one thing we could look to do here is to get our Stargazer Luna online. We do have quite a full hand, so we don't really need to yet. Let's get our Explosive Runes down, and then the Cabal Lackey and our Ice Block. The unique thing about Ice Block, aside from just that it's a broken card and can save you from dying, is its ability to keep certain battle cries active in this deck. So having the Ice Block up keeps the Cloud Prince battle cry active, keeps Medivh's Valet battle cry active to deal 6 damage and 3 damage respectively. So really, pivotal card in the matchup for us to keep that tempo going and keep those battle cries active to keep pushing as much face damage as possible. He's actually running really low in his hand, so we can start to push, very hard here. Probably will look to play the Cloud Prince down next turn unless we get a really good Stargazer Luna turn. We are kind of offered that here, so Stargazer Luna into the 0-mana Cabal Crystal Runner after playing a number of secrets can be a really strong draw engine, so we'll look to get that online here. Okay, we drew the Fireball there, which kind of ends that out. We can take out his Glacial and pass there. Talking about getting more secrets out of the deck, we also play the Mad Scientist, once again getting a secret out of our deck, thinning it down, so that we can draw as much of our face damage or our draw as possible. Nice thing about playing Luna down is, when he has a weapon up or when he's looking to gain tempo, is he pretty much has to take out that Luna. He will be very punished if he chooses not to take out that card. We'll get down the counterspell here in case he feels like Eye Beaming our Cabal Crystal Runner. This matchup is a little unique in the fact that we maybe most of the time would always push that damage directly face, but the nature of Demon Hunter being able to snowball so quickly, we really need to take out as much of his board presence as quickly as possible. Great draw there, exactly what we needed in order to take out the Priestess of the Fury. So we could actually just take it out with a Fireball, conserving these 2 minions on board. We will run the fact that we won't have any board minions, which could be bad. I think we will play the Cloud Prince and ping it off. We'll see what we can do next turn. So ideally here we're looking to get this Mad Scientist down next turn to draw a secret out of the deck, play a secret out of the deck, and then get towards our Aluneth. Okay, he plays his second Warblades there. So he's starting to run out of weapon threats. He will have the Warglaves that we might see later on. So we'll try to look to avoid a very wide board. Great, another Arcanologist, again thinning out the deck, and we'll play down the Mad Scientist as well. We'd like to have some more copies of these cards, so we will play the duplicate to thin out our deck even further, and hopefully draw that Aluneth. I mentioned earlier that there's kind of an ideal curve in terms of your mulligan. The secret which you keep is a little more subject to discussion. Playing against another mage, potentially a druid, you might want to keep a counter spell. Okay, he does get the Leroy out. So he's feeling a little desperate. Against a druid, I actually really like the explosive runes keep in the mulligan. They play a lot of Archmage Vargoth, and being able to completely dispatch of that 2/6 immediately is a very strong possibility. And then Flame Ward is a must keep against some aggro warlocks. Potentially even this Demon Hunter here is a really strong keep. So do watch out for those possibilities as you're playing the deck. We'll trade off the Leroy with the Mad Scientist to thin things out. We'll ping off this 2/1. And now we're kind of looking to push as much face as possible. He's going to be playing very reactively. Basically just playing whatever card he top decks. So really our only concern here is that he's going to take advantage of some crazy outcast mechanics to ultimately tick us down. He does play the Baku here, so he's feeling very desperate. We have the explosive runes to deal with it. Okay, and then he has the beaming sidekick. Wouldn't be surprised to see a concede coming up here. He's in a very bad position. Yep, then there's the concede. Weirdly almost predicted. So there's a great example of how the Secret Mage deals with the Demon Hunter. Is a very strong deck in the meta. Definitely want to consider. We'll head into the collection as we've been doing. Give me some feedback if you do like digging into the collection after the game. And we'll continue to do it or potentially not do it. You can see all the decks I've been kind of toying with if we should examine in future videos. We did basically get to demonstrate all of the synergies we really have here. Unfortunately, did not get to play the Aluneth, but you saw, given the choices we made, we did not really need the Aluneth. One way to support not having it early on is use of duplicates. So those really help to fill up your hand again and help you not lose tempo. So if you're finding you're having a tough time drawing this Aluneth, maybe you're looking to keep some duplicates when you need that tempo early on. We saw the examples of the tutors. We did not get to demonstrate the Flak Mage, but I think it's fairly obvious. You jam it down when you think, or the opponent currently does have a wide board, and you just keep playing secrets. Obviously has really good synergies with the Cabal Lackey, as well as the Kirin Tor Mage, to make her secrets cost 0. Even the 2-mana spell, Ancient Mysteries, will also help to give this card a lot of insane power, potentially clearing up to 6 health minions on a given turn if you can pull off something crazy. We saw the power of the Cabal Crystal Runner multiple times, getting it down to a 0 cost minion. Really great. Do want to touch on that we only run one Flame Ward. So most of the time this deck has enough tempo, is aggro enough that you can beat out other aggro matchups. This card is really necessary for a wide board aggro matchup, which is why we only run the one. And then we have the Ice Block, again, only needing one to offset that. At least in my experience, I find it pretty rare that I don't draw the Ice Block when I need it, but understand that is a potential weakness of the deck. Having the Mad Scientist as well as the Arcanologist, really lessens that weakness, but something to note. We have a lot of face damage with the Cloud Princes, the Fireballs, and the Medivh Valets. Pretty straightforward deck, honestly. I think a matchup you'll want to really take seriously is a mirror matchup against another Secret Mage or even the Quest Mage. You'll face a lot of really difficult decisions on, when to play certain secrets, when to get down your counter spells. So as you refine your use of this deck, do start to look out for some of those little intricacies. Yeah, that pretty much sums up what I wanted to talk about today for the Secret Mage. Leave some comments below if you have any questions or things you're noticing as you're piloting the deck. If you have any ideas of decks you'd like me to cover in the future, do let me know. I've been kind of mostly going through decks that I really enjoy or some classic decks. We saw the Jade Druid, the Razakus Priest, the Secret Mage, decks that have been around wild and in the format for a while. Really just starting with those because these could appeal to people who are new to the format and get them interested in building these. One thing I actually forgot to touch on before we end here, this deck is fairly low dust cost, so if you're looking for potentially a more budget deck, this could be the deck for you. So thanks for joining me, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.